Yeah. And then like yourself, I was like knackered at the end of the day. I don't know, it's like 9:15. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed. And I was laying there for like 5 minutes. I was like, shit, I didn't do payroll. Because I always do it on the 15th. I'm like, went and got it.
Welcome to GCP Bytes, episode number 45, Friday, the 17th of July, 2026. GCP Bytes is a podcast where we discuss Google Cloud and tech. And I'm your host, Stephen Bancroft. On today's show, oh boy, it's a week of outages. What happened to GCVE yesterday? Our time, anyway. Oh, and speaking of time, what happened to Telstra? We'll find out. Plus, can Google avoid a massive fine? And GPT 5.6 is out. Is it the Fable Killer? Find out in the AI wars. But before we get to any of that, I'd like to introduce the co-host of the show, Dave Wall. How are you going, Dave?
Good, mate. I'm, on leave. I'm back from the trenches.
Yeah, at the end of the coalface. And our very own GDE, Ian Brown. How are you, mate?
Morning, boys. How we doing?
Good. Well, we've got the three of us here yesterday working on possibly one of the biggest faults that they've been right at the coalface. Oh, boy, it was the entire day, wasn't it? On a call. It was a day. If you're not keeping up with current events, there was a GCVE outage yesterday that caused problems with stretch clusters. And I'll chuck a link in the show notes. As of 7:39 Australian Eastern Standard, we've got the incident saying it has been resolved. Preliminary analysis indicates that a network configuration update was the cause of the interzone network disruption. Our engineering teams mitigated the issue by rolling back a 40 configuration. So this affected Sydney, Melbourne, Frankfurt, and we thought New York at one point as well.
Yeah, it did. I did see the US up there at some point.
Yeah. They just fixed it first.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us from your point of view? What was...
So I think the interesting thing was that this is the first major GCVE outage. It's like, I'm not talking about like a single zone or, we know the UniSuper incident and all that, but this was like the first, like effectively a global incident that was that GCVE's had. But typical that it only broke stretched clusters. The big, expensive, highly resilient, multi-zone.
Everything's redundant until it's not.
Yeah, well, that's right. It's always redundant until you can't talk to it. I did find it interesting that, and we were like there all day yesterday trying to figure out what was going on, but Dave, you and I both came to the same conclusion that the two zones that GCVE runs in could actually talk to the witness. They just couldn't talk to each other. So they both thought they were up, and every now and then you'd see a host in Zone B come online and you could ping it and everything would work, but it wasn't online for long. It'd disappear off the face of the earth after a couple of seconds.
And never long enough. Never long enough for NSX to add them as a transport node. So any workloads that were over, like on the other site, were completely orphaned. They had no way to get to your edge gateways. So good fun.
Yeah. But we did see when a node came online, you did see all the VMs that were running on that node would all of a sudden show as powered on.
Yeah, so they'd you'd see it check into vCenter. Oh, I can see they're up. They are there. Yep. They've got no networking, but they're there. So we know the data's good. It's just like, but how do we get to you? Please come back.
And you'd see NSX trying to install all the policies and routing config and all that sort of stuff. And it's some of them it'd only get like 20% of the way through. Some of them it'd complete and then fail, but they'd always end up failing because the node wouldn't stay online long enough.
Right. So who knows what was going on at the network layer, right? With asymmetric routing or a firewall block or something causing this bizarre behavior.
The bits that I overheard from the Google support guy that was on the call was looks like it might have been something to do with BGP.
Yes.
And it could just be a session that's flapping.
Right. Now that you say that, I do recall hearing the term BGP bandied around quite a bit. Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, we got to the end of it and
Fun times. And the thing is, once they fixed it, everything just more or less came back, right?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for where some idiot extended a network twice.
Yeah, we had a couple of things with network extensions that we had to deal with. It was things in user land that once the environment was back up and running, then we had a few config things to deal with. But
A bit of faffing around with the database and that, but yeah.
But anyone who just had like a single zone cluster or like dev environments that maybe you didn't want to splash out for for stretch clustering was all fine. Didn't have any issues at all.
Yeah, no issue at all. Yeah. Well, apart from that, soaking up 99.9% of your time yesterday, have you guys been up to anything else during the fortnight?
I've done a little bit of work, like setting up cloud landing zones and a few things that have been, because I haven't needed to use my own like Google Cloud environment that I use inside the business. Don't have to use it too much. I'm like, actually want to start using it more. And I was like, I never actually did the effort to go and build out a cloud foundation and implement org policies. And tell you what, Fable and infrastructure as code, chef's kiss.
Yeah, right. Yeah, does it all, does it? Yeah.
Yeah, worked through it because like the big one for me was
you're still using Fable. I don't think anyone uses Fable anymore. We'll get onto it later.
Get onto it later. But no, really, really good guidance for doing all the not just the Terraform components for a very low cost running landing zone, but also for adding in like the security checks for IAC, like adding like Chekhov scanning into the CI/CD pipeline and all of those sorts of things. Very handy for it. So do recommend. It's gotten a lot easier now.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I had a very similar vibe coding experience. I've vibe coded an app for my karate club, and it's a thing to assess students for where they are. So you can create a video. You can, if you don't like the video, you can delete it. And then there's like a bunch of checkboxes. You can checkbox them off, create a student. And then every attempt they do, you add a new attempt. You can create a new video and a bunch of checkboxes, and you can share that results with the other instructors. But I found this as well. Like I wanted to pipeline it. I wanted to set up a dev and a prod, right? Just said, go ahead and do it. And just did it. Like I didn't have to muck around with any of that, right? Like, because that's always a bit of a bugbear. Oh, okay, now I've got to go and set up a dev, and I want to put Chekhov and all this kind of stuff in there. That's kind of the last thing you want to do, right? You want to get the app going, but no, I'm using Devon. Ended up using GLM 5.2 because it's free. Great, all works really well.
And because SWE was playing silly buggers.
You saw the
I did.
SWE 1.7, they're touting it as their latest and greatest model, but it just wasn't doing it for me. Yeah.
Bit glitchy.
That song. Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
Bit more.
Speaking of buggy things,
yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Microsoft's latest patch? Wednesday release
before the show, yeah.
Yeah. So the Trend Micro 0 Day initiative guys have described it as the mother of all releases. So it has, wait for these numbers, this is just mind-blowing, 621 CVEs for Microsoft's software, 480 vulnerabilities in Chromium, 416 are Windows vulnerabilities, 63 carry a critical rating, a CVS critical, 26 are above 9. The numbers are absolutely phenomenal.
These will be AI fines. There's no doubt.
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so privilege escalation bugs in SharePoint, Active Directory Federation services are being exploited. They're just so many.
And it's not Copilot finding those.
No. Copilot can't even give you the right endpoints to use in Terraform.
No.
I mean, finding a bug would be well outside of its realm of expertise.
Yeah, you would dare say those would be
they've,
Anthropic models. Yeah.
Definitely, right. And how good is it though, right? Like, I mean, obviously it sucks that there's so many bugs that need to be fixed, but the fact that a company like Microsoft can go, great, all right, we're going to point Mythos at the Windows kernel.
Yep.
All right. Have at
it. Yep.
All right. Let's
find me the exploits
and fix them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, somebody else will.
So, yeah, that's exactly right. It's who gets to do it first.
It's
Which
the arms
state
race,
actor is going to do it? How many of them, in fact, at the same time are doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is what I'm finding now, even with my own, vibe coding experiments. You can just basically point the model at it and just it scans over the whole thing and bang, it finds it. Like I put a little screenshot of something I just happened this vibe code. I said, find the top 5 security fixes in this code base and fix them. I thought, that's a good prompt. I'll just put that into LinkedIn. Got a few responses, a few comments on that post because it's as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things I do in my repos is I've got Gemini code reviews happening, and it also does a security review on the code that's been submitted so that it can say, well, actually, this code that you've submitted is vulnerable here. And it gives you suggested fixes for it.
Yeah, it's good.
This is on commit.
On commit,
yeah, nice. Yeah. Well, speaking of vibe coding, you probably want to save your tokens. And a tricky way to do it is using OCR and images. This is an odd one.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So there's this GitHub repo or PX pipe, and runs a proxy that converts your code into a PNG, and then it kind of uses a quirk of how a lot of sort of top end models like Fable are how they treat image input tokens versus text input tokens. So it's a way to like bin pack your, your
so you can get the
code.
same information into the model and use 60% less tokens. Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah, because the OCR is now so good in them. You effectively get like a 100% OCR. So yeah, you can just feed it through, and the fact that they treat it so much more generously. Obviously, this is going to be fixed at some point in time.
Yeah.
Right?
This is a loophole that won't exist for long.
So this is not a function of the way LLMs inherently work, the way they treat text over images. It's more of it's more of a result of the way they charge it.
Correct. It's an accounting.
It's an accounting
workaround.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it's clever. I love how, whenever there's a system, there's always somebody who wants to find a way around it. It's like if you create an API and the first, whatever version and whatever weird edge case you have in your API, somebody's going to make that a critical part of their pipeline.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now you just use AI to find it, right? You don't even need to find it yourself. Claude team only needs 2 seats now.
Oh, this is a nice one. So I just this week I wanted to add Claude Pro for another member of my team here. So it used to be if you wanted to have an org account, like a Claude business, you needed to have at least 5 seats. So when it was just me and my partner with our accounts, it didn't make sense. It's not like it just didn't pool utilization or anything. So it wasn't like having 5 seats gave us the equivalent of like a max subscription. They were still separate. So we would have had 3 that weren't doing anything. But only like 2 weeks ago, they've dropped it. So you only need 2. So the moment you actually would want to have a team, you can just go and create it.
Right.
which is great.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so did that. Added a third seat. I just picked up a year's worth for the three of us, and now I've got the org set up within Claude, which is cool because you also you have your normal projects in the Claude app. You also have org projects in there as well now, nice. You can have ones that are shared with the entire organization, and there's also a thing in there for where you can it's called Ask Hive Tech. That's our one, that's our company one. So it's just an agent that whatever business context you have and whatever you've fed into it, maybe you've got your drive or anything, your calendars and things in there. You can ask it questions about your company, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Well,
do recommend.
Anthropic has some money to throw around, obviously, so they can afford to lower the subscription fees, I guess. And finally, just to finish off the banter, China caught a rocket. They're doing a SpaceX.
And how cool is this to SpaceX has been landing rockets for, I don't know, I think it's 13 years or so now. So
it's been a while.
It's been a while where we've been waiting for other companies, nations, to actually start getting serious about reusability. SpaceX has proven that reusability is key, right? That argument is well and truly had and done, but it's taken this long for another country to actually put the required effort into working out how to do it. So
or just another company.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you've got a whole heap of competitors in the US for spaceflight, and not one of them is interested, by the looks of it, in reusing rockets. Blue Origin did, but
Blue Origin's model will be for reuse, but they're still a way off with New Glenn, and Rocket Lab have their own plans. So it's getting there, but for now, pretty cool. The way they've opted to actually catch the booster as well. So they
goes into a net thing and gets caught by wires.
Lands in a cage.
Yeah.
That's pretty novel.
When I first saw that, just scrolling through social media, when I first saw that video coming up, the comments, AI, everyone just was in disbelief. They're going, the AI's strong today. I'm going, hang on a minute. That's just, it looked like a grainy handheld, mobile phone camera from a screen, which is exactly what it ended up being after I looked into it a bit further. And then you put your post up and it's like, oh, right, okay. They actually have done this.
Yeah, so that's maybe we'll actually get a bit of a proper space race again. That would be nice.
Yeah, I do find it's interesting that how they've opted to do it, because now, with SpaceX's one, you just needed a big landing pad and some legs, and obviously there's a lot of things that go wrong there. But the way the Chinese have done it is this big cage that they've got to put the rocket into for it to catch it. I was like, all you need is a booster that's not quite working correctly, and you've got a rocket that sort of spears into the side of that cage.
But given that SpaceX's new rocket, the whole thing is that it goes back to the launch pad and lands back on the tower and is caught by some chopsticks. But you're right, is the very impressive thing is not just the landing, is because they landed out on a barge or an autonomous drone ship, whatever it's sort of called, the amount of control that is required, because it's not just land it on a, in a field, on a runway or something. It's a relatively small thing, and they need to have that accuracy to bring it right in on time.
Or else you're in the water. Yeah.
Or else you're in the water.
Yep.
So, no, very cool. And yes, I think when that happened, SpaceX's share price dropped 10%. And now it's below the IPO price. So not even the first trading price, the actual IPO price.
Oh, there goes $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Still about 10 times overvalued.
Yeah. It's got to reset. And just one last thing while we're on the space subject, we've got Amazon Leo kicking off this year.
Yeah, it seems like they've got enough.
NBN has signed them on as the official satellite partner. So when they launch and they're available in Australia, your satellite services will transition from Sky Muster over to Amazon Leo.
Mm-hmm. Let's see how this works out, eh?
Yeah. So because SpaceX was right in, or Starlink was in the play as well, but the NBN Co decided against it and went with the new kid on the block.
So I imagine that, you're going to have to end up with new hardware for any SAT providers because you're also going to need like a phased array antenna like Starlink has.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so their kit isn't all that expensive from what I've seen. It's about $350, I think I saw at one point. So not super expensive. It's certainly not the $700 odd that Starlink wanted for their Mini when it first came out.
Maybe that's what it was then.
Cool.
Maybe it was they could get a bit cheaper, better contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen their like phased array antennas yet, so that's very cool.
Yeah. And in the same news of satellite internet providers, did we all see that Starlink is looking to launch a 100,000 satellite constellation?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but you put it up around the globe, and it's not a lot.
Well, given that we've currently got about 8,000 satellites in Starlink, and we can watch them. So we're actually sitting out the other night.
You can see a line of them.
It might have been Saturday night. Yeah, we were sitting out here, and we were actually watching them go over top of us. And every sort of 2 minutes or so, you'd see a satellite go over in that exact line.
Right.
So the sun must have just been shining on them, right?
So this will be a new constellation, 100,000. They'll gradually deorbit the ones that they've got. Yep.
We're turning into the world of Wall-E.
Space junk, yep.
All
right. Well, with the banter out of the way, let's get on with the community news. Take it away.
Righto. We've got 4 this week. So starting off in Sydney, Google is running at the Google office on One Darling Island Road in Pyrmont, the Building and Contributing with AI Responsibly. So that's on the 23rd of July at 5:30 p.m. Get along to that one. There's 98 already registered for that, so it'll be a good event. Down in Melbourne is running their July 26 meetup at the Metal Group office in 452 Flinders Street. That's on the 29th of July at 6 p.m. And again, there's 79 already registered for that, so get along and meet some of the guys down there.
And the recording of that will be shared on YouTube afterwards as well. So it's in there.
Ooh. Oh, look at that. Doing recordings now too. Sweet. Hobart, we don't hear from them very often, but down in Hobart on the 30th of July at 5:15 p.m, they at the Century Building in Grosvenor Crescent, Sandy Bay, they will be having their Build It, Guard It and Ship It, Building Secure AI Apps event. That'll be a good one. And last but not least is over to Perth, Mia Yalagonga Building in Spring Street in Perth on the 31st of July at 7 p.m. They're doing their Build with AI 2026 July edition.
Build with AI. Anu's involved in that one. Gemini and Cloud Run.
That's it.
That's how I did my app. Well, not so much with Gemini, but the Cloud Run bit.
Yep.
Get along to that. Sounds great.
Yep.
All right. Well, a lot of stuff happening around in the community. Make sure you go check something out there. And let's get on with the news items. And first news item this week, as per is customary, is a People Move. OpenAI hires Google Cloud Partner Director to shape and scale global ecosystem. So as OpenAI continues to grow, I take credit from the article here, continues to grow its global partner ecosystem, the organisation has hired Philip Larson, a senior director. Now, Philip's got a bit of a background. He was previously at Google and at Snowflake for a little while, and at VMware, went back to Google for a little bit. Now he's at OpenAI.
The merry-go-round of jobs.
Yeah, but yeah, he's playing it around everywhere, right? But his thing is channel partner and building channel partner network.
Yep. So he's following another former Google Cloud channel leader, which is Colin Capacci.
That's right. Prior to launching the partner network, AI Giant hired another former Google channel leader, Colin Capacci, correct, as VP of Strategic Global Partnership. I wonder if like a little phone call was made there at some point. Hey,
yeah.
We've got these jobs going.
You should come over here.
OpenAI was chucking some money around.
Yeah. When haven't they been chucking money around?
I mean, that is, in fact, what the entire organisation does, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a money fire hose.
It just throws other people's money around the place willy-nilly.
So good luck to Philip, and I'm sure we'll see some strategic partnerships coming out of that.
For sure. And we always love a good partner program, right? So, there's opportunities for anyone who's sort of in the sort of technical solutions space.
And moving on, speaking of VMware, we discussed GCP at the top of the show. We've already mentioned VMware just in that previous article, but we do have VMware coming up with some innovative ideas. What's this all about, Dave?
Well, okay, so this is not specifically VMware, but more about the VMware Engine, which is where we find ourselves spending a lot of our time. But three new big updates now that just came out in the last week and a half for VMware Engine. So now you can do custom org policy constraints for GCVE. So you can use that to enforce security policies and restrict configuration. If you wanted to, stop people from deploying GCVE with external IP addresses, for example, you can turn off that kind of stuff, which is good. But a big one is that you can now do a fully managed, customer managed encryption key service. So GCVE comes with vSAN encrypted by default. You can't turn it off. If you turn it off, it gets turned back on again. But it's a Google managed key. You've always been able to use a customer managed key, but you couldn't use Cloud KMS to do it. It wasn't like a validated solution. So you had to have like a Thales product and you had to kind of manage that. There was a few other different ones, but yeah, you needed a separate KMS to actually hold those keys.
And you couldn't put this inside GCVE.
Oh God, no, you definitely could not run your KMS inside of GCVE. That's real bad.
No.
I've made a secure box and I put the key to the box in the box.
Yeah. And then I locked the box.
Yeah, and as long as I never turn the box off, everything is fine.
Yeah.
So now you can actually use Cloud KMS. It's fully integrated through. It handles all the rekeys and everything. So that's really good because like customers do like to have a managed key, but sometimes the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze. So you go, okay, well, I'll use a Google managed key and that'll be fine. I'll just trust them. But no, now you can have that. If you've got a regulatory requirement to be in charge of the keys yourself, now you can use this, which is really, really good.
The auto rekey feature is the big one for me.
Yes.
It's so often the case where it doesn't automatically rekey after a set period of time, and this does, which is fantastic. Yeah,
and it's a shallow rekey as well, so it doesn't have to go and rekey the entire environment, which is really good. And just another little bonus is that Jetstream as a DR solution is now fully validated for VMware Engine. So so you can use that.
I'd never heard of them until this morning. I was looking it up, going, "Who is Jetstream?"
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know,
Copies
they're
your
not
environment to like cloud storage, to a storage bucket.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're not like your incumbents, you know, your Commvaults or your Veeams and your like all of those different
Zerto,
providers. So,
I think is where they kind of
Zerto.
sit at. All right, so they seem like a pretty slick, relatively young product.
Yeah.
It's funny. It puts me more in. It takes me back to desktop support days. Remember, like Jet Direct, which was like the cards that you put on your HP printers.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
Jetstream, cloud native disaster recovery. I'm just checking this out now. I hadn't heard of this before either.
Yeah.
I think it's probably worth actually like spending a little bit of time getting across Jetstream because it seems pretty slick.
Yeah, very much so. I've got it bookmarked for reading later on.
I wonder if they got a partner program.
I wonder.
Yeah, it's got the solution right there at the top of their page. You've got Azure VMware Solutions, ransomware protection, workload migration, and Google Compute Engine disaster recovery by Jetstream.
Yep.
Alrighty then. Moving on. I mentioned it at the top of the show. Google's not getting out of this one. Big fine heading Google's way. Google loses fight. Article on Reuters. Google loses fight against record 4.1 billion euro EU antitrust fine. Wow.
Yeah. So this is the fine that was imposed for Google using its Android operating system to block rivals, I think. I can't remember. It was a little while ago now that this got imposed.
Once again.
Oh, it was the Android fine was imposed in 2018, a year after the Commission fined Google 2.42 billion euros for using its shopping comparison service to gain an unfair advantage over smaller rivals.
Yeah. The Commission found that Google illegally bolstered the dominance of its search engine by requiring smartphone manufacturers to pre-install Google Search and Chrome alongside its Play Store, preventing the use of alternatives to Android. Yeah. Can't do that.
Well, Google's come out and said that, that they failed to take into account that Android is actually an open source operating system and smartphone manufacturers can put whatever the hell they want into it. So you can use whatever search engine you want.
You can.
You don't have to install Google software on Android.
Yeah, but
and there's plenty of instances where it isn't.
It required smartphone. Google required the manufacturers to pre-install Google Search.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it wasn't a case of, okay, well, they're going to roll their own distro. It was like, if you're going to use the Google provided binaries, it comes with, all the guff.
So if you want to install, the Play App Store, right? Which, let's face it, without that, Android phones are useless. Right?
Yeah.
You must
Although
install.
there is another app store out there too, though.
Oh, there is.
There's always been the Amazon one, and there's a whole bunch.
The illegal behavior is you must pre-install Google Search and Chrome, right? And your default search has to be Google if you're going to install the App Store, the Google App Store.
Oh, yeah.
So you can use Android, have at it. But without that App Store, it's pointless, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Thursday's judgment confirmed the anti-competitive effects of the pre-installation conditions laid down by the Android agreements. Thus the fine. And this is the appeal, so I don't know if they've got any further course of action they can take.
No, because they're already appealed at the Luxembourg-based Court of Justice of the European Union, which is the highest
high
court.
As you can go, yeah.
Yeah.
And this was just part of a trio of cases with regulations fining the company a total of $8 billion between 2017 and 2019.
Ouch.
Yeah. And there was an appeal that they won, which is a $1.5 billion fine, which I think, which was from 2019. I think we did discuss that, for blocking competitors in the online advertising market, which the General Court annulled in 2024. So there you go. Big fine heading Google's way. What's that? 4.1 billion. That's like a percentage of what they're getting off of Anthropic. So,
Yeah.
University of New South Wales faces a 95% cut to its storage. The University of New South Wales is preparing for a drastic 95% reduction in the storage allocation of its 365 environment, introducing a series of space-saving measures.
Yeah, so all of this is because Microsoft has changed the licensing terms. But they did that like 3 years ago. Yeah, so they changed the licensing term in 2023, but they're only now enforcing it.
Right. So this is like their per-student storage availability.
Yeah, so, and it's weird because Microsoft's got such convoluted licensing that it makes even their subscription-based licensing is convoluted and just hard to understand. But so UNSW has got a storage pool that caters to about 82,000 students and about 8,300 staff. So there's just a few there. And they don't release what licensing they actually use, so all of these numbers are all sort of best guesses. But they're, for example, if they paid an A3 license, it adds 50 gig to the pool, while an A5 license adds 100 gig, whereas an A1 license actually draws from that capacity. So depending on what licensing combination they're using, depends on whether they get more storage or actually consume storage. And then the complicating that is the A3 and A5 licenses come with a student use benefit, which allows students to actually download the software and install it locally, versus an A1, which means it's completely online. But yeah, it looks like this is just Microsoft trying to save a whole bunch of money on infrastructure. So if they can save money on disks, which are getting more and more expensive, then they don't have to create more data centers and
or they can commit that to AI.
Exactly, and there's a researcher here, the Dr. Joseph Sweeney has said the timing of the announcement, just as the AI data center frenzy began, and the enforcement window through the enterprise agreement life cycles is not coincidental.
I do have to laugh, though, a little bit. There's a note in here, which is completely wrong, right? It's a part of this issue where he's saying that, like, well, some organizations might go back to using a NAS because Sweeney calculated that a 12-bay NAS unit loaded with high-capacity drives could be had for $500 to $8,000 up front. Yeah. Now, let me tell you, I just in June had to buy two 22 terabyte hard drives.
Ooh.
Right? Two. The cheapest ones I could possibly get, I had to go to like server part deals to get like refurb enterprise drives, because if I was going to buy them here, they were well over $1,000 each.
Oh.
Yep.
Right. So 12 just for the discs.
and not to mention it's a NAS.
And it's a NAS.
You can't just put like consumer grade kit into an enterprise like that and expect it to run for the next 5 years.
And then you have to back it up as well, right?
Yeah.
You're running an entire university off your 12-bay Synology? I don't think so.
How many concurrent sessions can run for that Synology? Let me tell you, it is not going to do what OneDrive can do.
No, and it's not going to handle the 8,300 staff, let alone the 82,000 students.
That's right.
Yeah, I had to have a bit of a laugh at that as well. It was just like, no, this dude hasn't thought about this at all.
Good times.
But yeah, so licensing has changed. He does make a point here of saying that switching to other vendors out of Microsoft's ecosystem is bloody hard work, and I know I've done it. It is really, really hard work, which makes that alternative look less attractive. SharePoint is such a complete cluster of a system that getting data out of it is like getting, shit out of a rocking horse.
I mean, and also it's just, if you're in the Microsoft ecosystem, you've got Windows devices, and you've got your email and everything in there. It's not just a matter of shifting the storage out. If you want some of the security scanning pieces and
your authentication,
data leakage, and all that kind of stuff, like it does help to be in an ecosystem. I'm not saying necessarily Microsoft's one, right? But like same with like Workspace. If you're using some of your data's in Workspace and some of it's in Microsoft, you're not getting the benefit of a single pane of glass. And if you're not using either, you need to kind of cobble together a solution. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, once upon a time, universities used to all be Unix. All of them. They never used Microsoft stuff.
Those days are long gone.
Yep. They've been bought out by the big corporation.
Yep.
I'm sure the Chancellor's had some pretty nice lunches. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of Microsoft saving some money, Microsoft cuts 4,800 jobs to revamp their Xbox brand. This story's been doing the rounds. About 2% globally. Revamps Salesforce and launches massive Xbox overhaul. And Dave, you had a couple of opinions of this during the week.
Yeah, I certainly did. It's like it sucks when there's job cuts. However, when you've got organizations like ZeniMax, who owns Bethesda, Microsoft owns ZeniMax, who owns Bethesda, and Bethesda holds the IPs for Fallout, Elder Scrolls. So we haven't had a new Elder Scrolls game since Skyrim, which was 15 years ago. We haven't had a mainline Fallout game for like 11 years. We
got Doom though.
Yeah, but like the ID side of the company that was doing Doom, they've at least had a reasonable cadence. They haven't let their IPOs go stale. How long has it been since we've had another Wolfenstein game?
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it's insane, and so it's interesting as part of the this happening is apparently Bethesda had issues where there was 11 layers, I think, of management. And they're trying to cut that down to 3, and they're going to focus on producing new Fallout and Elder Scrolls games. Like, what have you been doing?
Yeah,
the last 15 years, yeah.
Yeah. So I did say in this article here that the studios, in an internal memo, Xbox CEO Asher Sharma called it the biggest restructuring in Xbox history, saying the division has been operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses, and that studios have been losing, wait for this one, 64 cents for every dollar invested.
Yeah, that's
ouch.
It's terrible. So yeah, they do need we want gaming to exist.
Yeah,
it can't keep going the way it's going.
And I just bought an Xbox Series X.
Nice.
We've got an Xbox again. We keep doing this flip. Like, a young fella will go, no, I hate Xbox now. I want to go back to PlayStation. And so we go and get a PlayStation, and I object to getting rid of the Xbox, but I do it because, I don't play it that much. And then he's like, oh, Sony wants us all to use the Sony store now instead of giving us discs. So I'm going back to Xbox because I can get one with a disc.
Yeah, it'd actually be interesting to see on the next generation because, PlayStation has won the last 2, right? They've had the footprint, and I've had Xboxes. Well, I haven't had a PlayStation since PS3, but just in terms of units sold, PlayStation's won the last 2, right?
Oh,
because
yeah.
their stable of first-party games has been so strong. If in the next generation of consoles that comes out, if only Microsoft has a disc option and PlayStation doesn't do it, it'll be interesting to see if it pivots back the other way. If do gamers care enough to make that the go-to console?
And the backwards compatibility, that's the other thing that gets me, because I can put Xbox 360 games in my Series X and it will play them. I know, because I've got Gears of War in there.
Yeah. This is why I gave up on console quite a while ago. I'm all in on Steam now, and you got backwards compatibility. Discs? What are discs? I've been disc free for 10 or 15 years. So
But I think for young fellas, for young people that want a game, that's a really attractive thing, is to have a disc, because, once you buy a game on Steam, you've got a lease. You're essentially leasing the right to, or you're buying the right to play that game for as long as Steam supports it, right? Whereas if I buy a disc for, Gears of War, because I've got it, it's sitting in the drawer downstairs. I just put that, like that was an Xbox 360 game, and I put that into my Series X and it played it.
Yeah, I mean, the same arguments have been made for movies, right? And streaming and TV
exactly.
shows and that.
Yeah. And now, of course, the big outlier is if you really want to own your games and have control of them, GOG, good old games. Their whole premise of their web store is you cannot be listed on GOG if you still have DRM. So all of the games are DRM free. They update old stuff to be able to run, like currently things will run in DOSBox and it'll go. But also if you download it, you can put it onto an external hard drive. It is yours forever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Shout out for GOG.
Yeah, GOG
Yeah,
is
nice.
good.
Owned by CD Projekt, so the makers of The Witcher.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep. I have had a few games that I've acquired via GOG. They're quite good. I have that Humble Bundle. You get that Humble Bundle? Yeah, and most of them are Steam licenses, but you get the odd GOG one come through. So, yeah, look, this is... I don't think this thing's affecting gaming, purely gaming. Like that's a trend, across media generally. It's all ones and zeros now, right? Why do we need these flappy disk things anymore? Look, Xbox was the king. Bring back Master Chief. I mean, that was the days, right? Xbox, need to pull their socks up, really. Otherwise, there could be a thing of the past. Bendigo Bank. Bendigo Bank scoping more than 3,000 ideas for AI use. And it's interesting the way that they've done it.
They've crowdsourced ideas from employees. How cool is that?
Chief Technology Officer Kieran O'Meara told the Google Cloud Summit, which we were at, by the way, Sydney, that 3,000 ideas were crowdsourced from its workforce of over 5,000 staff in the space of 9 months. And what I find interesting about this is to say what we didn't do is we didn't put AI in a lab. We didn't run experiments in a traditional sense. Because, like these things in corporate world, they go so slowly. We'll put it in a lab, we'll test it, we'll write up to pages and pages of documents and an acceptance and all the rest of it. None of that. It's just straight out to the stuff. What can we do with this thing? Oh, here we go. Here's a list of stuff. Yeah, so Bendigo are all in on the AIs.
Yeah, so I love this because it started right at the top. So it started at the C level, and the C level has been trained in the use of Gemini because they're using Gemini Enterprise. C level's been trained, and then it's flowed down from there. So it's become this is a new way of working, not this is a new cool toy that we've got. Please go and have a play with it. This is a way of working.
Yeah, there's some great quotes that they've captured from Kieran's presentation at Cloud Summit. We're talking about like with the crowdsourcing is like you did have to filter a lot of the ideas because I'm gonna quote this, like the single most common things that we happens is that we have hammers looking for nails. So everyone was like, oh, we can apply agentic solutions to this, so we can apply it to that. And not everything needs to have, an agentic problem. We don't really need to stick an AI on there. He calls out one example. In a particular call center example, the cost of the interaction agentically was going to be about $9, whereas if a human does it, it's like $3.50. So it's like, okay, that is not a good case for an agentic thing. There are deterministic problems that can be solved. Now, I would counter that one of the great things about having AI is there are so many things that, yes, are deterministic problems. We're like, how do I automate this thing But my team, which is like a sales team or a call center team, we don't have the knowledge of how to automate this. I feel like this thing could be automated. I just don't know how to do it. And when you've got the AI tooling to help a non-technical person, provide a deterministic automated solution, like how much improvement do you get from that? You use the agent to build the deterministic solution.
Yeah, 100%. I've done that myself a few times.
Yeah. And if you can do it in an afternoon, if you can vibe code it in an afternoon and you've solved that problem for good.
Yep.
How awesome. Yeah.
I did love that same quote I had highlighted in here, Dave. It's absolutely cracking quote. I love it. And it's a very common thing in business where you've got, you do have hammers looking for nails instead of the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, and you get that in you say in business, but like you will get that on the other side of you'll have you'll have a DevOps team, right? It'll be like, Kubernetes will solve every problem. So I've got the Kubernetes hammer. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
It solves every problem and then adds another 500.
It's like when blockchain came out, right? Like the company I was working for, they were in the hotel industry, and they're like, "We've got this." I went to my manager's come back from this conference. Blockchain's the new thing. We need. Where can we use blockchain?
We have to have a distributed ledger. God,
so no. You've got
solution in search of a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the wrong way around, right? You got the cart before the horse. You need to have your problem first, and then find a technology that solves that problem, not the other way around. Yeah. Blockchain nowadays.
Reminiscing on the bad old days.
Anyway, speaking of cock-ups.
Telstra is at it again.
We've got two ancient Telstra previous techs here. But you've actually been on the coalface of these things, because there was massive Telstra outage the other week, and it all comes down to NTP. And Ian, you put an article in here, and I highly suspect you've worked on and around this actual equipment. So tell us all about it. What do you know?
Yeah, so it looks like, So Telstra had this big outage that affected all mobile devices. Well, they say it wasn't all mobile devices, but from what I can see, it was pretty much every mobile device in the country. So mobile devices rely on accurate time between the mobile and the tower in order to establish sessions and all that sort of stuff. There's a whole...
Well, everything needs time, right? The whole certificate infrastructure is based on accurate times, right?
That's exactly right. So what it looks like has happened is one of Telstra's very ancient timekeeping servers, which are GPS or GNSS time servers. So they have an antenna on the roof of a data center. It goes down into a device that syncs with the satellites, gets the time off a whole heap of satellites, it averages it, and then gives it out as this is the official time. Right? Failed. And that issue propagated through the network because every server will talk to a time server at an interval on UDP 123, get a time back, and then it will apply that skew to its clock. So it'll say, my time is this. The time server says it's actually this. Therefore, I am skewed by this many milliseconds, microseconds, whatever. But it's a periodic check-in. So it might check in once every minute, it might check in once every 10 minutes. So what you can see here is when a time server goes offline, there is going to be a period of time where everything still works, and then everything will start breaking from then on.
Once it does an NTP sync,
as it
gets the
propagates through and the NTP sync fails, and all of a sudden time starts skewing out, and that all depends on the infrastructure that's running. So yeah, looks like here that Telstra had a failed NTP server or multiple failed NTP servers, they don't say. It has caused time skew to happen within their network at a fairly rapid rate, and all of a sudden mobile devices can't connect to towers, tower infrastructure can't talk back to data centers can't talk to anything. It all falls in a massive heap.
Right. And the failure is very interesting because due to the age of the equipment, it basically had Y2K bug in that it was the bit size was 1024 bits, and it could only hold so many days. And then once that rolled over, it rolled back to 2006.
Yep.
And suddenly we were back in the time before AI. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. So, and that was just a case of these time servers haven't been made since 2018, and therefore haven't been patched probably for about that. They roll over roughly enough once every, I think 18 years was the number.
Yep.
Yeah. So every 18 years, if you haven't patched your time server, all of a sudden you're 18 years in the past.
Yep.
It's a time machine.
And I think there was another little problem in that they only had 2 of them, not 3.
Yep.
And what's that saying? Never set sail with only 2 clocks. Never set the sea with only 2 clocks, right? It's a nautical thing, right? Because obviously the time is very important to know your position in your latitude position, right? If you have 2 clocks and one of them's wrong, you don't know which one's correct, right? So you need, once again, coming back to the quorum concept, right? You need 3 to form. One goes failed, then you know which 2 to look at.
Exactly right.
They didn't have 3; they had 2.
Yep. And there was a Jeff Geerling put a video out that I posted in our chat yesterday. Was all about, here's the time server that they use. It has been made since this year, all that sort of stuff. For the sake of about $3,000, or it's somewhere between $3,000 and $30,000, they could have replaced them with brand new time servers that are up to date and supported for the next 20 years. And now they're facing somewhere in up to $30 million in fines.
Yeah, but it's like you don't think of that. It's like, yep, there's the time server. It's doing fine. It's sending NTP. It's working fine. Why do we need to change that?
Yeah, exactly. I'm guilty of that.
Clearly, someone else has patched it previously, right? It would have had to have been because it predates 2006, so it would have had to have been patched. So why? I mean, it's probably some old tech that's retired, and it's just kind of got forgotten about.
Well, they said it. So the piece of kit that they have hasn't been made apparently since 2018. So it's evidently fallen out of support probably around the 2020-ish time, and hasn't had a patch since then. And she dead.
And that's it. Yep. I mean, you can replace it with a Raspberry Pi now, really.
Yeah. You literally can.
So there you go, NTP. It's one of these things that's just so behind the scenes, you don't even think about it. But when it doesn't work, stuff breaks big time.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of big time, Gartner. Our favourites, Gartner, are the Magic Quadrant. The Magic Quadrant. Google has been named a leader in Gartner inaugural Magic Quadrant for AI infrastructure, ranking highest for the ability to execute and furthest for completeness of wisdom. Now, look, Gartner, they produced a graph and it's got some dots on it, and I know I know how we feel about Gartner, guys, but Google's the leader on this one.
Yeah,
Google's the leader.
Google paid Gartner the most amount of money.
And I think this is just reaffirming what we've talked about before, right? So the silicon we've seen the T8s, the TPU-8T and the TPU-8Is come out recently. And the integrated stack. We've mentioned this a few times. From top to bottom, you've got hardware, networking, storage, software, and single system for training and inference. Right, it's all in a one-stop shop. And hardware chips. I don't think anyone else has got that. So this is no surprise that Gartner.
Yeah, the infrastructure is great, right? That's we'd love to see a nice model running on top of it, Google.
Yeah.
It doesn't kick us out of our subscription every couple of months.
Yeah.
I did like in this article here, it says here about the integrated stack. On storage, Google says it says manage Lustre, which is it's all in caps, so it is the name of something. Uses C4NX instances and hyperdisk exapools.
Hyperdisk.
I had to wait for Dave to do it. Now delivers 10 terabits per second, 10 terabytes per second of bandwidth. It also says rapid buckets can deliver up to 20 million operations per second for object storage, which is like, that's huge.
Yeah. And that's really all about training runs, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
And then their Virgo network can connect more than 1 million TPUs across multiple data centers in a training cluster, or up to 960,000 GPUs. That is just phenomenal.
The scale is huge.
Yeah.
But we're benefiting, even if you're not using AI, you're benefiting from that, right? If you want to do a backup recovery now and it's on that storage, right? Bang.
Yep.
Your RPOs have gone through the floor.
Somehow did we miss the launch of Rapid Bucket? It's only been a couple of months.
Yeah, we did. 100% we did. I think that was next that it was announced at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
There's so many things that come out at next. So we went through the top outcomes, but it was all AI. You're going to miss stuff, right? We've got 12 months to catch up on it. It's fine.
I mean, anyway, but like what Rapid Bucket is it's a zonal bucket that has just a shitload of disk behind it.
Yeah.
So you can use object storage for your workloads, but you can, actually make them, run in the same zone and get ultra high performance out of it. It's cool. Very nice.
Yeah, clustered disk. Fantastic.
Anyway, I'll put a link in the show notes. We also have up in there in the leaders. So leaders and visionaries, Google's way up there. Followed shortly behind Amazon Web Services, Alibaba Cloud, and Microsoft. Kind of there, right? And then, way back in the list is Oracle, Hawaii Cloud, and then, some of the other smaller players, and IBM sort of languishing down there in the bottom somewhere.
I don't know how Microsoft makes it into that quarter at all.
I mean, it's probably just because, they have Azure. There's nothing really sexy under there, but they've still got the scaling side of things.
Because you look at Copilot and go, no, there's no way that Copilot is a leader in AI.
Yeah, but it's not the infrastructure, right? It's just the tin.
Yeah. This is all about the AI infrastructure, right? Yeah. Cloud AI infrastructure. Well, speaking of AI, let's get on with the AI wars. AI wars. That's a good one.
Was that? It sounded like a bloody seal.
That's the Jacob Ladder version.
Yeah, right.
I just hit the drive button and had to ramp up the distortion.
Yeah.
And new models, speaking of Google's models, bringing speed and strong cost performance to the market with Gemini Omni Flash and Nano Banana 2 Lite.
In keep.
The general availability of Nano Banana 2, which is Gemini 3.1 flashlight image. I can see why they've called it Nano Banana. This model is the fastest and most cost-effective image generation and editing model within the Nano Banana model family. If you go to the blog article, there's a little video of them designing a bike. And boy, it's getting hard to tell what's AI, I have to say.
Yeah.
So a few benchmarks here.
I mean, they're definitely the leader in the image and video generation space.
Oh, yeah. Well and truly.
Hands down.
Now, one of the cool things is, I don't know if you guys have heard of InVideo, there's an online video editing tool. It's integrated into that now, so you can make up a scene, make up a storyboard, and get your scenes, and then arrange them and edit them and build a movie, basically, in online. The benchmarks here, the ELO score for overall performance for Gemini Omni Flash, 1,087, which is, quite ahead of Happy Horse, which is 1,044. And for instruction following, it's 1,082, which is ahead of Happy Horse, which is 1,036. So, yeah, very good. And, instruction following is important because you want consistency throughout each scene, right? And if you watch that video, you'll see the size of the prompts that they use when they generate these scenes. They're not trivial. They're not trivial.
No.
The prompts are quite significant. And but you can see the results that you get. They're very, very convincing.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so go onto the blog and watch some of the demo videos they've got there where they swap out some of the props in one of the films. We're not quite there yet, I don't think, but easily within 5 years you're going to be watching fully AI generated movies at the movies, I would say. And speaking of chucking money around, Anthropic pledges $200 billion to Google. $200 billion, reshaping AI infrastructure race. $200 billion to Google Cloud Services over the next 5 years.
40% of Google's revenue backlog.
Yeah, 40% of Alphabet's entire disclosed revenue backlog. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Google's throwing millions of dollars every month at SpaceX AI, XAI, whatever it's bloody called this week, for data center capacity there. So it literally is just the money go round.
Money just going round and round, yeah. Just fueling this this bubble, right? Now, did I read in here, or was this another article, that they're creating something like they've ordered something like 8 billion TPUs?
Well, not in this article, but so Anthropic is expanding an existing agreement to acquire up to 1 million TPUs.
Ah, there we go. Yeah.
Yep.
I've highlighted it. I've got it right in front of me. Back
Yep.
in October 25, Anthropic expanded an existing agreement to acquire up to 1 million of Google's custom AI chips known as TPUs. The deal alone was valued in the tens of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
The practical result of this is Anthropic's Claude models are deeply embedded in Google Cloud's Vertex AI platform. Yeah, so I may have a use case. The app that I mentioned before, I'm going to experiment. I don't know what the costs are going to be here, but I could take that video of that student, right, get an AI assessment, right, and that would give the instructor some sort of, guidance on what they can do or where they can go with it, or do an assessment for them.
Definitely. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, $200 billion. All right. Google, what's this? Google launches remote MCP server for Gemini Enterprise. Google has introduced a remote MCP server for Gemini Enterprise designed to connect external AI agents with resources inside Google Cloud.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Right? So what's the idea here? You have your AI, you give it you set up your MCP server, and it can just go into your project and commission resources?
Yeah, pretty much. So, well, you can do it directly from your IDE. So as a software engineer, you can be coding away doing your software and then say, right, I need to be able to spin this up in here. It needs to be repeatable. Go forth and do it. Mm. And it just connects into Google's MCP for whatever product that is, and off it goes.
Right. So you need to have the API enabled already.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, you need to have... So I don't even know that you need to have the API enabled already. I think you need to have the Google Cloud MCP integration enabled, and then the AI can then talk to that MCP and get other APIs enabled. I think.
Right, okay.
Doesn't say you can't do that.
Because this is the thing. How often do you have this chicken and egg problem where you've got to go in and click up something, you've got to go back, run the Terraform, and then you've got to go back, click up something else, and then go back, run the Terraform again. Because, put some temporary placeholder in. This Cloud Run happens, right? When you want to deploy Cloud Run, you've got to put the temporary container in there, then you can run your Cloud Run pipeline, and you've got to go back. Do away with all that. just get the AI 100%. To do it. All right. Problem solved.
Yeah, exactly. No, actually, I was wrong. It does say it. Customers need to enable the relevant API, configure the client to point to the remote server, and then use the toolset endpoints to begin interacting with Vertex AI resources.
Right. But once again, enabling the AI is a G-Cloud command or something in Terraform, right? So the AI can do that, right?
And each endpoint has each API, so service in Google Cloud has a set of MCP endpoints. So you've got /MPC /generate, /predict /notebook /prompts. So they all have those standard 4 endpoints that you can talk to. I think this is more pointing towards Google wanting developers to be less burdened by having to do infrastructure-y things. And just be able to go, I've got this app, I need to run it. What's the best way to run it in Google Cloud?
Or not even that. Even go step back. So I don't care. As long as it runs in Google Cloud, you make the decision.
Yeah.
On what needs to go. Yeah.
I mean, the standard prompt for me is, I've got this app that I've developed. What's the best way of running it in Google Cloud that's not going to cost me a fortune, but is going to provide me with 99.9% resilience? And great. It gives you suggestions and you go, yep, option 1 looks fantastic. Go and do it.
Right.
Here's my Google Cloud project.
Yeah. Because I was having this thought when I was doing my app. It's like I specifically asked for Cloud Run and a GCS bucket and specific resources, right? Because that's the way I wanted to build it. That's fine for me, right? I got all the certs and I know how that works, right? But people don't, right? And this is the perfect opportunity, right? You just fire it at it and say, I want to run this. I kind of don't care, right? Like the code itself, right? There's stuff in the code that you wouldn't even look at, right? Some people wouldn't even look at it, right? And but it just works. I don't care. That's I think that's what
we are in a privileged position where we have a very broad understanding of pretty well all of the services within GCP. And so we can make reasonably educated decisions on where a service needs to sit. But, you pull a developer in off the street that's never touched Google Cloud before or any cloud before and go, what's the best way to run this? They'll go, bugger if I know.
Yeah.
And that's where this comes into its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Nice. And if you want to do that, there's a way you can get it sort of free, basically.
Freer.
GitHub repo I'll link called 9router. And I've been meaning to get to this during the week and I just hadn't got to it. There's just too many things going on, outages and all the rest of it. But basically, it's a proxy that you can set up and run locally. And you authenticate that to all your providers, Claude Code, Antigravity, OpenAI, OpenRouter, whatever, wherever you might have some tokens or you've got some free tokens, and it distributes your prompt and your request dynamically to wherever it thinks and wherever you've got some token availability. So the idea is you never run out of tokens. You never run out of credit. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's got like a whole tiering system. So use my Claude Code or Codex or GitHub Copilot, quota. Use that until I hit the end of my subscription. Then drop down to like some cheap API calls that, up to your whatever budget you happen to have set, and then fall back to free.
Yeah.
Right. It's really cool.
The thing that I love about this is it is the RTK token server or saver. So it's it does auto compress on the tokens.
And Caveman. It uses Caveman.
It uses Caveman. It can do all of that sort of stuff to save you money on that. And there was a quote in here that I saw where it actually shares context with those as well.
Ah, right.
I can't find it here. Maybe
Right.
it's on the 9router.com site.
So if it flicks you from one model to the next, it just brings the context across with it. Yeah.
Brings the contacts across, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
That's really good because it's really annoying when you're coding and like you hit the end of your 5-hour window, especially if you hit the end of the 5-hour window while you're waiting for some work to come back. Like I had an ultra code session running. And I had so Fable had gone off and it had spawned 6 sub agents. I saw it do it. And I'm like, oh God,
it's going to cost me.
and thankfully, all of the sub agents, their work came back. And it had saved that into text.
Their
the verification loop, it had run out of tokens. So I had to wait till the end of my 5-hour window and then it was able to pick up from that. But it didn't just dump everything because literally it was 2 things and it blew through my 5-hour window.
And the coolest part about this is, for a developer, this is fantastic. It's just an npm install command locally, and then just run it with the 9router command. It runs a local agent.
Little dashboard comes up.
Yep, little dashboard capability there. You point your insert AI tooling here to the local endpoint, which is the dashboard /v1, and give it the API key that the dashboard gives you, and off you go.
Yeah, cool, awesome little tool. I reckon. I've got something sort of going on in the back burner at the moment. My home lab's all built out with Proxmox, Terraform for Proxmox and Ansible. Of course, I'm going through that repo now. I've set up a workspace in Devon now, of course, and I've had it build out my OKFs and sort of build some mermaid documents, some mermaid diagrams, and all that. I'm starting to AIify my home lab. Right.
Lovely.
And my next step is to have Devon build out 9router and not OpenClaw. I've sort of moved away from OpenClaw. It was all a bit broken. Hermes, that's the one. Yeah. So I'll be building that with Devon, and this will be a key part of it for sure.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, fantastic.
So go and check that out. And while we're on the subject of models, oh boy, GPT 5.6, new frontier model, kicking everyone's butt.
Yeah.
And we predicted it. You cancel Fable, that's fine, but another model's going to come along and beat it anyway.
Yeah, exactly right. And it sounds like it's doing really good results and it's cheaper to run than Fable, which, because we are kind of hitting this point where like I say, I don't want to have myself quoted as like AI has gotten good enough, right? It is very good. I know it's going to get better, but we can't have this token inflation. Right? Where all of a sudden like it goes like 10x what it currently costs.
It's $50 per million. Oh, now it's 100 per million. Oh, 200 per million. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It beats Fable 5 by 11.4 points, roughly 1/4 the estimated cost. And GPT 5.6 Sol with max reasoning comes within 1 point of Fable 5 while completing tasks in 61% less time at roughly half the estimated cost. Sounds like a win-win to me.
Does sound like a win-win.
Yep.
So, good to see that. It's also nice because that coming out meant that Anthropic couldn't pull Fable because it was supposed to go, and they keep adding weeks to it because now Sol is so much better than Opus 4.8. They couldn't just leave it.
They can't just rest on their laurels on 4.8.
So Fable's still in the plans. I was seeing some rumors this morning that we're probably going to see an Opus 5 launch either this week or next week.
Right.
To try and get back some performance at a lower cost to run. But, we'll see.
And where's Gemini in all this?
Oh, no.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty yuck.
Not to be seen. Well, yeah. I mean,
they need to speed up the release cadence. They know they've got better models.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm completely off Gemini at the moment. Anti-gravity, poo. What's going on, guys? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I dropped it as well. I dropped it because of the whole nonsense around using Gemini in workspace accounts.
Yeah.
And them taking it off the AI Ultra Office.
My use case for Gemini now is, chat, basically, right? I'll use it for chat, and I'll use it when I'm on my phone. I need to take a picture of something. I'm out in the shed or whatever. That's it, right? But for the heavy lifting, no way.
So I still use it in Workspace as exactly that. It's just the chat. Yep. If I'm trying to search like just random stuff, like I've got this product that I need to name. Go out and find me a name that doesn't conflict with other names, and this is what the product is.
Yeah,
great. It saves me hours of work because my eyes aren't the best these days.
Yeah, that's a perfect use case for it. But yeah, I don't think coding, it's not there. It's not doing it. All right. Well, look, that's about it from us this fortnight. Don't forget, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Go to Apple Podcasts, write a review to really help the show out. And while you're at YouTube, smash that like button and start the discussion. You can contact the show, contact@gcbbytes.com.au. Find us on the web, www.gcbbytes.com.au. And don't forget, today's sponsors are Hive Tech Solutions, Technofish Consulting, and Mantle Group. All right, guys, we're going to go back and mop up from yesterday.
We do indeed.
All right, we'll leave it at that, hey?
Yep.
All righty.
Okay. We'll
Catch
you
everyone.
later. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to...
Welcome to Winnie Blues and a Dare iced coffee.
Throwing a sausage roll with sauce.
Breakfast of chippy apprentices everywhere.